What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Road Monster coming at you here from stormy Playa del Carmen. Guys, it is mid-September, getting into late September. You know what that means? It's time to start apartment hunting. As promised, guys, I'm going to start hunting down apartments for you, but also for myself. My lease runs out December 7th. It's crunch time, guys. The mad dash for apartments in Playa begins usually about mid-November and goes to about mid-January. By then, usually they're picked clean. And so today the point is to scour two different neighborhoods. We're here in Sasilha, and just right there already I see a for rent sign. So the goal of today's video is to show you the supply in these two neighborhoods, Sasilha and Ahidal. Ahidal is more over by Parque La Saba, and there's probably some better options for people looking for 2-bed or even 3-bed, 2-bath places with patios, areas, and space for pets. And the other point of the video, aside from just seeing the overall supply, is that I'm going to show you guys my process of how I begin to hunt down the best apartment in Playa del Carmen. Basically, it's getting real when I have a notebook and a pen. So I separate this into 3 parts: neighborhood, address, location, and WhatsApp. And so I'm hunting down leads today, but more importantly, I'm getting an idea of the overall supply. If there's 5 different apartments for rent on the same block, I know I have a little bit of wiggle room in what I offer. If we're getting down into crunch time and there's only 1 apartment in the entire neighborhood, I know I probably have to get in there and give them my deposit and pay whatever they're asking. So guys, if you appreciate my efforts, I'm out on the bicycle today to cover as much ground as possible for you all. For all of you apartment hunters coming to Playa del Carmen, smash the like button for me, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go hunt down some apartments. Vamonos. So my friends, I'll put up on Google Maps from time to time where we are. I'm starting this journey on 44th. I'm going to work my way all the way west on 44th until the apartments start to get a little bit less desirable. Then I'll jog over to the south 1 block to 42nd, and then again down to 40th, and I'll cover the entirety of each one of those streets, and that covers the entirety of the neighborhood of Sasilha. Any promising leads that we find will be written down and marked here, and I'll follow up on those leads. Be sure to let me know in the comments which ones you want to see inside and which of the 2 neighborhoods excites you more, Ahidal, where we're going next, or Sasilha. So guys, right off the bat, I see one here. Let's go get the details and the WhatsApp. Anything that isn't worth following up on, I probably won't put in the book, but anything from a studio all the way to a 3-bedroom, if it looks nice, I'm going to follow up and see if I can get inside and take a look in the next video. So guys, right off the bat, we didn't have to look for very long. We've got one right here. You guys can feel free to take down the WhatsApp as well. Looks like we've got 2 different numbers here. Feel free to pause and write that down. I'm going to take down the number as well. Doesn't give us much info. It just says Se Renta Departamento and 2 numbers. And it's probably a very basic apartment back in there. And so guys, I'm going to put that in my handy dandy notebook, and then I'm going to move on down 44th a little bit further. But the gauge already, what I'm seeing is quite a few signs. So it looks like there's a lot of supply of rentals in Sasilha. That's really good news for anyone coming down trying to swoop an apartment in the coming weeks or months. So let's keep going, guys. That's apartment number 1 in Sasilha. So guys, I only had to go about another 20 meters, and then I found this building right here, and this one says apartments for rent or sale. And so once again, this is a +52 for Mexico, 984-188-2193. I'm going to take this number down and certainly going to ask about these, because this is a fantastic location. We're not too far from the Chedraui Selecto. The closest beach access to here is Playa 38. I'll show that at the end of the video for those of you wondering about the beach access. Also, at the end of the video, guys, I'm gonna go by my old building where I paid $650 US a month for a studio and see if they have the sign up. Because if that sign is up, that means there's apartments available and you can live potentially in the same building I used to, which is pretty nice. Rooftop pool, nice view of the Pulmon Verde. But guys, let's press on. It seems like there's a lot of apartments so far, but let's get a better feel for the supply here in Sasilha. Thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate each and every one of you. taking time out of your day to be here. Please leave in the comments if you like this style of video and you like seeing my process for hunting down apartments. This is how I do it. So guys, this is a subject for another video, but I wanted to briefly mention this. This is a pre-sale building. It's been sitting at this status for quite a while, guys. So I highly recommend that you steer away from these promises. I wouldn't pay somebody for an IOU that says, hey, I owe you this apartment at this time. It's a bad deal, especially in Mexico. So we're up here on 20th and 44, pressing on, looking for more rentals. I will also look on CTM, but I'm not a huge fan of living over on CTM because of the traffic, the noise. There's also those trees right in the road, and from time to time people run into those trees. There's accidents. So I'm gonna keep going to the west here on 44th and see, kind of continue to get a feel for the supply. So far we've got 2 that are actually worth calling on and looking at. That's a pretty good sign because we're just getting started. So my friends, I am now over on the next street over to the south. I'll put up on Google Maps where I am, but we're very close to 30th right now. Getting some kind of weird looks from people, that's why I had to shift around with the camera a little bit. But guys, we have another apartment right here. This one looks like it's worth showing, although it is quite close to 30th Avenue. We are now on 42. So 42nd and 30th for all practical purposes. And this is the WhatsApp number. Once again, we don't know if this is a studio or 1 bedroom, but it is furnished, and that is the number right there. Once again, that's a +52. Feel free to reach out directly. I will probably reach out and try to see this one. It looks like it's probably worth looking at. I'm hoping it's a discount compared to some of the other ones closer to 10th, because this location, like I said, is not quite as desirable. And it looks like we have yet another one right next door. So I'm actually going to take both of these numbers down. There's this one right here, 1 2-bedroom and studios. And there's a QR code, so I may scan that. But once again, that's a +52 984 310 2463. I'll take both of those numbers down and see if I can actually get inside and look at those and get a price for those in the coming days. So this will be a series, guys, but it's a process to find these apartments. What I do is I try to get leads, as many leads as I can, figure out once again the supply situation, and then I'll narrow it down to 2 or 3 that I want to really look at where I would really consider living. So I'm going to take these 2 numbers down and then work my way back toward 10th here on 42nd. So guys, I'm on 42, almost back to 20th, and I was hoping to see something available in one of these 2 buildings here, but they appear to be full. Typically I'll see a sign there for rent. Looks like those have filled up, and what I'm noticing is a trend of people staying during low season, staying year round. So I'm not seeing quite as many signs as typical as I did last year at this time, or like last July. So I'll keep pressing on. The next block I'm going to cover is 42nd here, but between 15th and 20th. I just covered between 20th and 25th and 25th and 30th. So I'm literally going block by block for you all. But hey, it's a good day for a bicycle ride. The rain stopped. I've got this sweet bike gifted to me by a subscriber and friend, Bjarn. Shout out Bjarn if you're watching this. Miss you, buddy, and thanks for the bike. Okay, so on this block, guys, between 15th and 20th on 42, I'm actually seeing more units for sale, but at least they're for sale in these finished buildings. So if you are looking to buy instead of rent, you could come check over in this Sasilha area on 42 between 15th and 20th. I'm seeing some pre-sale, but I would highly recommend avoiding the pre-sale and go with something that's actually already built. Just make sure the building's completely finished and the rooftop pool is actually there and done before you buy. All right, guys, up on 40th and 20th. And this is technically not Sasilha, but it kind of is. You see Lavanderia Sasilha. So I'm going to show these 2. I'm going to take down these numbers and inquire either way. Not a bad area. It's still fairly quiet. So we've got another 984-879-0813. And it looks like a nice little courtyard back there. Some basic units. Hopefully they're not asking too much. But I'm going to put that down in the notebook for sure and inquire about that tonight. And then we've got this one right here, Se Renta, and I can't really tell what building it's in or if it's just behind this gate, but that's the number right there. I'll take that number down as well. So that puts us at kind of slim pickings for Sasilha. That puts us at 6. I did go, for those of you wondering, I did go on the other side of 30th, but it's pretty rough over there, and I'm not going to show you guys anything where I personally wouldn't live, anything that's for sure just full of silverfish and cockroaches and has, you know, mattresses on the sidewalk rotting out front. I'm not going to show or even go look at apartments like that. We can all do better than that. But these two right here I'll inquire about, and then I'm going to move on probably to the Ahidal neighborhood and over by Parque La Saba. More importantly, that area is very nice. Some of my favorite restaurants like La Bendita Costilla over there. Parque La Saba is a gem. It's a pleasant place to live. And the houses are bigger. These are mostly apartments over here. I did also go down toward the water, but most of those are for sale or there's none available. Like my friend's building is completely full right now as well down there. So I think I want to go focus more on the Ahidal area. It's a much larger neighborhood, so we'll have to spend a little more time over there than we did here in Sasilha. But at least we got some pretty good leads here so far. All right, guys, we are on the busy 38th Ave and 25th North, and we have found yet another one. Technically, once again, not in Sasilha, but it's right on 38 in the Sasilha area, so I figured I would show it. And I think I will take down that number there and go ahead and inquire about that one. I'm not crazy about living right on 38, but I am interested to see how much that's going for and how soundproof the windows are, how noisy it is inside, and if it's maybe worth it if the bedroom's back off the street a ways, if it would be a decent option as long as the price is right. So I'm going to add it to the Sasilha list, and then we're going to head over and check out hopefully greener pastures over there by Parque La Ceiba. Vámonos. All right, my friends, it is a little bit of a bike ride over here. I am on the cycle, mobbing, just about to cross the highway. I'll be at Parque La Ceiba. It's a good workout though, great day for a ride. Super happy to be putting in the leg work today for you all so you don't have to. I believe we got 7 leads in Sasilha. I'm hoping for at least that many in Ahidal. Vamos a ver. And for those of you wondering how dangerous this bicycle ride is, Playa is very bicycle friendly. We actually have these bike boxes right here, so I get to sit in my own little bike box and get to take off at my own pace. But do be careful, guys. Probably wear a helmet. I don't yet have a helmet, I really should, but I always use the utmost caution. You can see the traffic patterns get a little crazy here. Whether you're on a scooter or a bike, you just want to always be paying attention. But very bicycle friendly, that's one reason I love Playa. So guys, I'm randomly running into everyone today, and that's why it's kind of taken me a little bit of time to get over here, but I'm here at Palmeras Una, and I just ran into Julian, and he pointed me over this direction. For those of you who remember Julian, he's got the Volkswagen Beetle, the biologist. We went to some cenotes together, but he pointed me over here, guys, and I'm going to show that if you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with parking, 2 pools, this place could be the one. I'll put up on Google Maps where we are, but you've got the 999-292-5577 there. And I will show some of these other numbers briefly and take them down as well, because it looks like a few different apartments for rent here all inside of Palmeras, and you've got this gated community. It's safe, good place for kids to run around as well. So I've had a number of subscribers say, hey, we're moving down with our kids, we're looking for a place for the whole family, the pets, etc. This could be the option, guys. I'll do some further investigative work and try to actually get in and film a video inside here. If you want that video, just type in Palmeras in the comments, and I'll get my culito in there and do some filming. I'm actually interested in this location for myself. Julian was telling me these run about 20,000 pesos, but you're getting a 3-bed, 2-bath for 20,000 pesos. And really still you're only maybe a 10-minute taxi ride or bicycle ride to the beach. I actually got here fairly quick on the bike, aside from my stops running into friends like Robin, Peter, and Julian. Shout out to you all. But this could be a fantastic option, guys, for the families watching the channel. Now you know. I'll take this number, put it in the book, and these will be our first leads. I'm gonna head over toward Parque La Saba next. The park is closing soon, so I don't think I'll be able to show you the actual park itself, but it's beautiful. A lot going on there, classes, yoga, dancing, all sorts of markets on the weekends. So I want to go see. It's getting late already, guys. It's like 5 p.m. I've been mobbing around on the bike doing a lot of apartment hunting, but I want to see if I can get at least 5 or 6 leads on top of this one right here. And no, I'm not affiliated. Nobody's paying me a commission to show you any of these properties. This is just me apartment hunting for you all and for myself. So guys, I think I actually wrote down the wrong number at first. I took this number down. I do think it's actually these two numbers right here. So I'm actually gonna check on both of those numbers. This one says en venta, so this one looks like it's actually for sale, but I'm going to inquire anyway on this number as well, because it does say renta. So it's a little confusing on which number is gonna lead to what. I just gotta try them all. So I'm gonna have a whole evening tonight of just WhatsApping. So my friends, I'm here right in front of Parque La Saba, and this is actually the area I'm more interested in for myself. This place is interesting. It says semana o mes, so week or month, balam na. I'll take that number down for anyone just looking for maybe a shorter term option while you look for a longer term option, or you want to test out this neighborhood. This could be a good option for you. I'll put that number up on the screen, and I'll also tell you it right now. 984-807-2583, and as always guys, that's the +52 Mexico prefix. 984-807-2583. The places look pretty nice. Looks like there's a pool. It's nice and quiet. The best part is you'll be next to one of the best places to get meat, and I'm talking about a nice steak right here at Bendita Costilla. This red building right here, I can actually smell it. So that's fantastic. I'm gonna write this number down, throw it in the notebook for lead number 2 of the area. And then I'm actually gonna continue right around these surrounding blocks surrounding the park, because it's just such a quiet, calm area. And this is very much another pulmon verde of Playa del Carmen as far as a green lung. And you really want fresh air, and that checks all the boxes, being right next to the park. It's a quiet place to go hang out, meditate, chill, and ground. So my friends, I'm now on the back side of the park, and this one is not for rent, but this is sort of what I'm looking for you all, and maybe even for myself. This looks like a solid at least 3-bedroom place. These are not cheap by any means. This neighborhood has unfortunately been gentrified. According to the guys at Cool Bikes, we came over here and they were talking about the gentrification of this neighborhood. So these are not cheap places, but they are huge. And so I'm gonna putter around here and see if I can find one of these mansions of Playa del Carmen for rent, and hopefully get inside and see what these go for. A couple of my friends have expressed interest in moving down here, at least part-time, and I think, hey, it would be kind of cool to have a couple of guest rooms, an office, and just more space. And then also I've thought about getting a dog, guys. I love animals in general. I wouldn't mind having a dog to keep me company. And so I'm kind of looking for something like this that has maybe a patio and a nice outdoor space. And listen to that, guys. It's so quiet back here. So this checks a lot of boxes. We just have to find one that's actually for rent. As always, guys, I'm getting hungry. I missed lunch for this. Smash the like button if you appreciate my efforts. I am excited to be out here on the hunt. By no means will I be able to cover this entire neighborhood in today's video. Just type in the comments part 2 if you want me to keep going on the hunt in this area. I'm relentless. I'm gonna try to find at least 2 or 3 more. Let's see if we can find ourselves a mansion. All right, my friends, now this place is by no means a mansion. These look like fairly basic apartments, but in a fantastic neighborhood. We are now 1 block from the park over there, and this is Casa Bella Vida, and we do have the location here Calle 1 Sur between 65 Sur and diagonal 70 Sur. So I'll put up on Google Maps where we are. And here is the number here. I'll definitely be calling on this one, 984-211-9667. I'm not sure if they're studios or one bedrooms. They do look pretty basic, but there's only one way to know the actual quality, and we'll have to get up and get inside those. But they look decent. They look decent. I would be interested to know what a basic apartment goes for in this neighborhood. I have no idea, so I will take this number down as lead number 2 for the neighborhood here. All right, guys, this one actually looks quite promising. Very nice. Once again, the park is right here. The one we just looked at is right here on the corner. And so there's quite a concentration of places available here. 984-202-1304. Guys, feel free to WhatsApp these, even if you're in the US or Canada. I'm going to definitely message on this one. Put the number in my notebook. But I really like the vibe here in this neighborhood. It's super quiet, not a lot of barking dogs. Usually around 5:30 p.m. the dogs wake up once the heat of the day has passed. So it's kind of a good time to come look at apartments around 5:30, 6 to get a gauge for how bad the dog situation is. And I hear very, very little noise altogether. Now 70 diagonal here, this street running across here is a little bit busy. You get motorcycles and stuff. So I kind of like this one that it's back a little further than that one. That's right on 70. So I'll be trying to see this one in the coming days, see if they'll show me the apartment. But it looks really pleasant. Looks like this is the maybe the main entrance right here. And so I'm going to keep circling around though and see if I can find something bigger. This is a furnished studio, a studio amueblado. And I know a lot of you are looking for 2 or 3 bedrooms. So the studio for me might work, but I'll keep plugging away and mobbing around on the bike a little bit longer. I'm getting hungry though. Ever since I smelled Bendita Costilla, I'm just ready for a steak. Or at least pizza. I've got some pizza Renzo in my fridge at home, the spinach and cheese. Mouth is watering out of control. Guys, this is fantastic news. I did not have to go far to find the next one. We were just right there and then right there. And then here's this one. They've actually got a Facebook page, and good news, it says pet friendly. They've got Facebook, Depas La Saba right there. So check them out on Facebook. We've got, looks like 2 different WhatsApp numbers I'll take down right there. And completely furnished 1 and 2 bedroom places. Rentas, La Ceba, Estudios y Departamentos. So guys, I'll be taking both of these WhatsApp numbers down and see if I can check out and schedule some showings for this one here, and this one on the corner, all in the same day. And I'll try to put that all in one video for you guys. It does take a little bit of coordination with property managers to time that right. It would be a minor miracle if I can see all 3 of them back to back to back, but I'll see if I can do that. This one's really promising. The fact that it's pet friendly is cool because I am considering getting a dog. So I'm going to take these numbers down and keep moving on, and I'm going to look for a 3 bedroom. This place does say they have 2 bedrooms, so that's promising. Guys, 2 or 3 quick notes about this neighborhood is just the contrast and proximity of wealth next to very, let's just say, humble homes is very interesting as I continue on the bike. And also, guys, the amount of mosquitoes in this neighborhood, because you can see all the greenery here, all the trees, the park. The mosquitoes are eating me alive. My ankles are covered in bites already. And you can see we were just next to a really nice house, and then now there's, places like this that aren't exactly quite so nice. So it is an interesting neighborhood. You can see the gentrification, the change. And I think that's about all I've got time for today, but we're just 1 block from the park as I circle back to the park here. And I did see some really nice houses, some legitimate homes, but none of them for rent, none of them for sale. It seems that when people move into these places, they stay for good reason, you know, with their families, and make a home out of them long term. So I have only just begun to dig into this neighborhood here. It's a really interesting one to me. I'll contact and do the research, further research on the apartments, the leads that I found today. And as promised, guys, I'm going to go by my old building and see if the sign is up there. Because if the sign's up, you'll have the number, the contact for my old building, which has a nice rooftop. It's fairly affordable, at least the studio apartments. So in the video with that, I got to get back over to that side of town. It's been quite the cycling today, quite the bit of riding. I've worked up an appetite. Hopefully you appreciate my efforts, guys. Stick around for the bonus material, which will be my old building. I'll show you exactly where that is and if there's any units available. And if I see anything else for rent on my way over there, I'll share that with you as well. I would have trouble leaving that part of Playa and moving over here, but there's an argument to be made for this part of Playa as well, and Parque La Saba. But the mosquitoes are eating me alive. You might want to consider wearing linen long pants when you come over here. Here's one more lead I'll share with you guys. 984-876-2328. It says 1 or 2 bedroom places available, and it is right next to the park. It does not appeal to me necessarily. It's called Los Bitos, but it is an option maybe for someone coming down just looking for maybe a short-term 1 or 2 bedroom. So I wanted to share that with you on my ride back. All right, my friends, we're back, getting over toward the center again. I believe we're in between 24 and 26 on 25th Ave. And so a little more bonus material. Se Rentan Estudios, 984-362-3200. There you go. You have yet another lead to call. I'm probably not going to call on these. The point was Sasilha and the Parque La Saba area. But this is a fantastic location for those of you wanting to be more in the center. And, you know, studios in this building. Looks like they have a rooftop. You could do worse. I have no idea what the asking price is. I might go ahead and put this one in my book and WhatsApp them. And then put that info up on the screen if I can get it, if they respond. I am interested to see what a studio is going for these days in this area. I'll put up on Google Maps right there where I am. And this is the surrounding area, so pretty much close to everything. Guys, I'm getting hungry and tired. I gotta go eat some pizza. So my friends, I really like this area. I'm here by Shushu, a really nice cafe. And there's a park here, and I'm in Gonzalo Guerrero, and I'm noticing quite a few rentals over this way. So in the comments, just type GG, the letters capital G, if you want me to cover Gonzalo Guerrero. I think it's a fantastic kind of happy medium between Sasilha and all the way over by Parque La Saba, a little more centrally located, more of a scooter and bicycle vibe over here, and much more walkable as well than the area over by Parque La Saba. So GG in the comments, and I'll cover this entire neighborhood. I'll start earlier in the day because it's going to take some time. There's a lot of rentals around here, a lot of buildings like this one up here, like these ones here, and so plenty of options all around me. Guys, I gotta get home without further ado, and I will also show you real quick in passing my old building and see if there's any units available there. Otherwise, I gotta wrap this one up. It's gonna get too long. There's gonna be way too many leads, and then I'm not gonna be able to follow up on them all. So I'll see you guys over at my old building momentarily. So guys, as promised, this is my old building right here. Really nice rooftop pool and view, and I'll give you guys the WhatsApp right there. I believe the building's probably about half empty right now, so there's the WhatsApp. If you want to grab a studio, I think most of the balcony units are occupied, but now you know, guys. 984-228-8985. and you can check out at least the studios there. They should WhatsApp you some photos and let you know. But if that sign is up, guys, I'm here on 74 and 5th Avenue. If that sign is up, it means something's available in the building. So I wouldn't hesitate too long if you want to be right on 5th Avenue. I used to pay $6.50 US, but there was construction down below. And so I negotiated it down to $5.50 US because the noise was pretty unbearable. So I saved an extra $100 there the last couple months there. So not a bad place to land if you're coming to Playa del Carmen. That finishes up the bonus material. I've got to get home and eat my pizza. I've been talking about it for over an hour. I'm starving. I keep running into people and getting caught in conversation, but it is pizza time. I'll show you that pizza Renzo as it's sizzling in the frying pan, and then I will bid you adieu. Thanks for coming along on this video, guys. This is basically just getting our feet wet for the season here in Playa as far as rentals. Hopefully you appreciate my efforts, mobbing around on the bicycle, showing different neighborhoods, doing the footwork, the legwork for you. See you guys later on. Thanks again. Rope Monster, out. Alright guys, so finally the pizza Renzo is heating up. I got the spinach and cheese, one heating up and one on deck, and I'm using some manteca de puerco, pork lard, to heat that up. Nom nom nom. But guys, I just wanted to recap. We were out on the bicycle for about 2.5 hours, and part of that time was spent running into friends and talking with people, and we got this entire page of leads right there. So that's how it's done. With this, I can gauge the volume, how many rentals are actually out there available, and then I can weed out a few of these just by sending WhatsApp messages to each one of these and seeing if they'll send me back the price, whether or not they're pet friendly, and some photos. And the ones who don't respond, I'll cross off the list and probably get it down to 4 or 5 good options for each neighborhood, maybe even just 2, and try to actually get inside and see those. I've worked up an appetite. It's no joke. At least I got kind of a chill, cool day for it. I wasn't sweating too hard. But I love riding my bicycle around Playa. That's one of my favorite parts about this place. And I love putting in the work for you guys. You're all asking about rentals. Everybody's wondering about prices, pet-friendly places. I'm at your service. I'm doing my best. I think we found a few good prospects today, especially a couple of those over by Parque La Saba. But I'm really interested also to check out Gonzalo Guerrero and the Colonia Hollywood. I'll probably hit that later on this week or actually early next week and just keep putting in the work up until high season. I'm also looking for myself, guys, so this is personal. I'm really doing my best. Anyway, thanks again, guys. Time to wreck this pizza. I am absolutely starving. Pizza Renzo for the win.